One thing we always hear each time that Trump appeals to his base repeatedly is is the idea that you are going to matter. You people will listen to you now. You are going to have impact. You people are going to listen to you from here on, and it's one of the main things that rile up his base. And there's a good reason for that. Whenever anyone becomes really exercised about an issue and really quarrels about an issue, they aren't arguing about the issue. They are arguing about self worth. Since the foundation of this nation, uh, any white person, no matter how poor, no matter how ignorant, no matter their state, they could always at least say, "Well, I'm better than the black people." They could believe that in their hearts, regardless of how difficult things were. The huge majority of people who participated in the Civil War, in the rebellion, and the rebellious side of the Civil War, they didn't own any slaves. But the point was, they knew that they were better than black people, no matter how trashy, no matter how trashy they were. The problem now for that same group is voting. Voting is equality in its most basic form. The vote of a black person is just as powerful as the vote of a white person. To think, to consider that a minority's voice would be as valid as their voice is anathema, is sickening, points right at what is so important to each one of those individuals. Therefore, the election must be nullified. If it has to be nullified with firearms and violence and running in like fools into the Capitol so you can spend years in a federal prison, be that as it may, it has to be overturned. The point is not make America great again. The point is make America white again. The point is not America first. The point is white America first. In the Confederacy, not all the slave states joined in the rebellion, but all the states that joined in the rebellion were slave states. And that is how you know that the Confederacy, no matter which way you slice it, was about slavery and making sure that the country never became wholly free. It's the same thing with Trump supporters. Not all Trump supporters are overtly bigoted. However, every single Boogaloo Boy, every single Proud Boy, every single Ku Klux Klan member, every single bigoted racist is a Trump supporter. What this is all about, Mr. Trump could not have accomplished what he accomplished except that something earth-shattering, something I never ever thought it could possibly happen in my lifetime. And it happened. And it shook the lives of the bigoted and racist people in this country. A black man became president. No, no, no. And that is what we're getting the reaction. That and the Black Lives Matter protests. To think that they would be so rising up to think that they matter as much as a white man. That has to be stopped. It has to be stopped now. I'll believe any QAnon theory. Absolutely. I'm on board. Because this has got to stop. And that is what is happening right now. It is not confusing. Nobody should be saying, oh, I can't believe how can these senators, how can these representatives sign on to QAnon and say these things? And there aren't very many, but they exist. Oh, how could they? How could these senators work in conspiracy with the anarchists who broke into the Capitol to do reconnaissance on the day of... How could they? If an individual believes that accepting a concept or accepting a truth will cause them to lose their jobs, there is nothing you can say, there is nothing you can do to cause them to accept what is an obvious truth. And that is a bottom line. Their medical insurance, their paycheck, they worked hard through a campaign to get that seat in Congress or in the Senate. And if they know they have a large part of their constituency that is sold out to QAnon, or even 10% of their constituency, they know they need that 5-10% to be reelected. Therefore, nothing anyone ever says is going to change their mind. They must continue along that path because nothing is as important as keeping their job to that person.